Good evening, everyone. I hope you all are having an amazing weekend. So today I want to start off by talking about how I start my day, and like how I am getting ready for the open. See how I am, taking these plays at the open, looking for the premiums, what to expect of the premiums, how much risk reward am I thinking about certain things, etc., etc. Right? Like so. Firstly, I will be going over a simple tool that I use to, judge the premiums on a particular day at the open. And then I'll talk about the mindset as to what goes on after I know what premium it might open at. I'll also talk about what exactly goes into my watch list once I show you some, like I'll just take like last 3 days maybe, or what comes up in the last 3 days, and what I talked about pre-market and how I kind of use it to my advantage to buy or sell certain things, right? Like that's essentially what I'll talk about as a use case, or I can't obviously talk in the future. I can definitely show you something that I've done in the past and last 3 days, pretty randomly. Like I'm just I can pick up any day, but let's just talk last 3 days. It's much easier to find data on Discord too, so I'll just do that, right? So without further ado, let me first start off with yeah, let me do that. All right, so this is a very interesting and a very important tool that you would want to use when you're looking for anything that you want to judge with respect to the pre-market. Obviously this tool is not foolproof, given that around earnings, especially when the IV fluctuates quite a bit, right? Like because of certain external factors like earnings, like some kind of a news, or things like that, like some kind of news given. You all know Tesla's quarterly numbers. Like every time we know they are going to announce quarterly numbers, the IV on Tesla contracts is quite significant as well, and it fluctuates quite a bit. So you want to keep an eye out for that. The if the IV kind of deflates quite a bit, you want to think about, don't want to use this tool per se. I wouldn't use this tool when the IV is fluctuating quite a bit, or deflates quite a bit the next day of the open. So this is not a tool that you can use really well during the earnings cycle for any earnings plays. But any other play, usually pre-market, when I post out things, they are usually not earnings plays per se, right? Like they are post earnings or pre earnings kind of plays. So the IV is not going to be a big factor. So this is called optionsprofitcalculator.com. Anybody can use it. I'll also go over another simple tool for people in the United States to use it as well, which is something that Robinhood has released. I love that app. I don't trade in that app anymore, but they have some very nice, cool tools that they keep coming up with, and I really like the simulate my returns tool that they recently started off. And I'll show you after this. I'll just show it to you on the phone or something like that, and you can go from there, right? So anyway, right here on this options profit calculator, usually how we kind of do it is we always go after long calls, long puts, which is basically a long call is basically buying a call thinking the particular underlying asset will go up. Long put is basically thinking something will go down, and that's basically is long call, long put. Naked call, naked put. I think they here what they are suggesting is basically buying and selling naked call or naked put. But then like long call, long put is essentially what we usually do. And then we also do a lot of covered calls and cash secured puts, which all falls in the basic category, right? Like if you see what's on here, right here is what you want to focus on. Mostly it will be these two, but but we also do a lot of covered calls and cash secured puts on our long-term account where we buy shares, and we want to generate a lot of passive income. That's where we do these two. You really don't need these naked call naked puts if you understand long call long put. So you're fine with that aspect of it. So quickly, I will talk about certain things here where let me quickly go into Discord, right? We'll talk about let's not look at the traders lounge because people have been chatting some things there, but let's say this was basically pre-market notes from Friday, right? So what I just did was in game plan channel, pre-market notes is what I clicked, and that's essentially what I got. Anyway, here what I have, this is this so how do I come up with this watch list? How do I know these are the stocks that I can play per se? And keep in mind, this kind of a methodology that I have created for myself with respect to pre-market notes and things like that has come up for has been developed over like 6 to 8 years, where I have been working full time. So what I usually used to do when I was working full time, because I'm also from Phoenix, obviously market opens at 7:30 a.m. When there is daylight savings, and 6:30 a.m. when there is not. So at that point, what I used to do is I used to trade for about 90 minutes in the day. That's mostly it. I never used to look at the market after that. So to trade that 90 minutes in the day, I just prepare for 60 minutes prior to the market to see what's happening in the market, make a small little watch list, and then I'll go from there, right? So that is essentially how I kind of developed it. And once I edit this video out, obviously I'm on live. Once I edit this video out, I'll post another video, and you'll have it in the training channel. There are 4 aspects that I usually look for when I'm making my pre-market notes, right? The first one is analyst upgrades or downgrades. They like when there is a significant upgrade or downgrade on a particular stock, you will see some kind of a momentum play out in the first 30 minutes of the market. So if you are playing the momentum, if you are trying to play something there, you can always say, okay, you know what, I know the market is going to go the market is bullish. I know the analyst has upgraded this particular stock. I know it's going to go this at this particular level because it has also closed out strong. So that is one aspect that you'll see why I have certain things in the watch list. The second aspect is obviously news around a particular stock, right? For example, in this example, you see that Walmart is going to split, right? So that is a bullish indication, and you usually saw run-ups in the market. In a bull market, you usually see stocks that are going to split going higher. So that is another indication that I always look for. Is there an analyst day? Is there some news? Was there any prior indication as to someone like a CEO insider buying, or a CEO insider selling, or anything like that for that matter? So I definitely look for certain plays around that. The third is peekaboo setups. If you have been in SniperTrades for quite some time, you understand what a peekaboo setup is. It's the way I try to call it. I know recently people have started using a different term for it in the lounge, but I do think when there is a break of a trend line, when there is a significant volume that we see, when a trend line is broken, when a particular downtrend or an uptrend is broken up or down, you can catch a momentum play on that particular move in the next day for the first 30 minutes of the open. So I definitely recommend looking into certain setups like that to really play that momentum. The fourth and last one is usually during the earnings plays. I try to play the sympathies, and I do kind of swing it, But then when I see reversals, when I see that a particular stock is down, even though the main player, like for example Palo Alto Networks was down on its earnings, but then CrowdStrike was not down as much, that's when I'm like, okay, you know what, there is a play here, right? That is when I try to play those sympathy plays as well. Obviously this is also news driven, but then it's around that earnings cycle and thinking about what to do with respect to certain stocks and things like that. So these are some aspects that kind of go into why I have certain things in the watch list and things like that. I will edit that out, and like I'll have some flyers out on this video to show what's happened, what I'm talking about and things. But just understand that that is what is I am talking about. So obviously on Friday I did play SMCI. This was the one that I was looking for. I was kind of tweeting about it quite a bit before the market opened. 7:30 is when the market opens for me. So you see, I have been tweeting about that quite a bit before the market opens. So what would I do when I put out a watch list? What am I doing with respect to when I see something like this and I'm putting this out? Let's say I'm playing SMCI 1000 call on Friday, right? And SMCI was trading around -2% or 3% at the right at the open, right? So let's go back to our options profit calculator. So I'm trying to go long, right? I'm trying to get 1000 call. So now I'll say long call, right? So then I will type in the symbol here. Let's say SMCI. I'll say get price. It'll get you the price as to what is happening. So I'm going to buy it. So have the buy option there, and then you want to go select the option, right? Like let's go down here. Sorry about these ads. If I was allowed to pay for it and not get these ads, I would have done it, but unfortunately. So let's say this is at mid, right? So this is obviously not data from Friday. This is going to be for next week, because I can't for 3-1 is essentially what it is. I can't go back and show you what it might be, but this is essentially what I do at the open, right? So I agree with the terms and conditions, and then this can be an auto per se, right? So when let's remove that. I like to put it at option/spread value. Basically, this gives you a value of of the mid. You can obviously change the IV too. I really don't know how to play around with the IV at the open for options plays of earnings. So I usually never use this tool for any of these earnings plays to get certain data per se. But this one here, this is what I do. So for example, let's say SMCI, I want to get it on Monday, let's say, right? And it's on the watch list. Now I want to get into the 1000 call, and SMCI, let's say, is trading at around 840, right? So this tool tells you that the cost is going to be somewhere around the $12 mark, right? So now in my mindset, what am I thinking is, okay, this is going to open at around $12. Let me see how many can I buy. So essentially, when I put in a saved order into my E-Trade account, I will say, okay, I'm not like trying to get in at the open, say just when I see the alert or when I see something already happened. I'm not trying to get in, check the options chain and things like that. I have saved orders where I say, for $12, let's say it opens at $12, how much amount can I risk, right? So I already have an order placed in my mind saying that, okay, I can probably put in $12,000 into this trade because I trust the trade. So let's say $12,000. So how many contracts can I put in? 10 contracts, right? So I put in 10 contracts. I save the I put $12 in there, but I save the order. I don't place the order. Remember that I don't place the order. I save the order, and then once and what I do is on my Think or Swim, you have a nice option where this is my main watch list, but then let me go to SMCI, and then I say trade. I don't use Thinkorswim to trade. Also, all these are my visualization tools. So don't be. I'm not too worried to show my brokerage or anything like that. But anyway, so let's say 1,000 contracts, right? So now what I do is I add this into my options chain as well. So I trade through my phone. So I have my E-Trade app opened on my phone. I have my saved orders in there, and I'm ready with those saved orders. I'm not like trying to figure out SMC. I'm not trying to put in SMCI ticker once I see the alert, or I'm not trying to go to the options chain once I see the alert. Nothing like that. I have saved option order already in there. I did not place an order. I have saved orders. So also what I kind of do is once I see this, I'll say, add this into options there. Like I have a bunch of options that I keep adding in through the week. I keep track of, and like that's how I kind of tell you, oh, these options are being deflated, options here are being inflated. I just see the bid ask and see what's happening there. Like I kind of have a feel of what's happening. But anyway, this kind of gets cleared out every week. This is where I kind of add it, and that's where I see, okay, bid and ask right there. And once I see at the open, it is somewhere close to what I think it is, I place the order. That is how I try to get my orders filled at the open, like 10-20 seconds from the open. I probably buy it. That is how I generally go about. And most of you already know, I don't chase anything, right? Like when do I not chase anything? So if you remember Goldman Sachs about 3 or 4 days back, where it ran from the open, I was not able to get a fill, which is fine, as long as it is at around 10% from my from where I think is my risk reward, right? Like that's where my mindset is at. As long as it's at 10%, I am willing to go after it. Like I am willing to place a trade. I am willing to go like up my bid or change my bid very quickly to probably get that contract. So you have to be quick. Yeah, there is no alternative for it. I think mobile apps are very quick now that you can really do things very, very fast. I know quite a few use desktop apps and things like that. I don't feel desktop apps are at a point where mobile apps are like super quick. I trade through my mobile. I visualize everything on my desktop. I definitely need my desktop when I'm trading, but I never trade on my desktop though. Like it's kind of weird that it is very slow and whatnot. So I really don't use desktop. So that is essentially how I kind of do it, right? Like I'm always looking for I have certain watches obviously, and my watch list is also on priority, but then SMCI was moving so fast and so well. I just wanted to get in and make some money. We bought those at 11. I tried it, like it opened at 7, but then I was trying so many fills, it did not go, and then it opened at 11:40 is where I got it, like 30 contracts, and then it worked out well. But then you see what I was talking about. I was talking about both 1,000 call and 900 put on watch. I bought the 1,000 call, but then I never bought the 900 put. It bounced to 1,000, and then I got out of this, and that's when I was like, okay, you know what, 900 might be a good put. But then my saved order was over 60% by the time I was selling this, and I was like, okay, let me get 850 put, and we made a killing of that as well, right? I think we sold it at 21 or something like that. But you understand what's happening, and you have to be ready. You have, that is the reason I spend about good 60 to 90 minutes to come up with certain watch lists like this. So let's go on to Thursday. This is another example. Thursday, you had a nice little trend day, but we had calls that we were swinging. Fluid already alerted 500 calls, which were like $5 or something that they opened at. We had Amazon calls, we had Intel calls. So the only thing that I had on the pre-market watch list was, let's sell all our calls, just chill, right? And then since SMCI had the news which said they were coming out with some. I think they were kind of looking for mixed shelf offering or something like that. They were doing an offering basically, and I usually stocks which of that size, usually small caps, when they do an offering, the price significantly falls. So that is what my experience tells me, right? So that's where I was like, okay, you know what? Let's see if this 800 level is broken. If 800 level is broken is when I would be wanting to play some puts. It never broke 800 level, so I never did anything on Thursday. I was just watching the market. So that essentially what happened on Thursday. So now let's go to Wednesday, right? I'm just giving you three simple examples last 3 days and see how my mindset is at the open and how I use different tools to do what I'm doing, right? So first things first, pre-market notes again in the watch list. I was talking about Amazon 170 call or 172 call, both on watch list, looking like it can be opening play too. Keep on high watch, right? So at the open, these opened at around 1.32, something like that. Options profit calculator told me 1.4, so I was ready with 1.4 as long as it was somewhere there. So I put in an order at 1.4 and I got my fill. And we actually swung these calls too because they were looking so good. But they 170 was our target. We hit that at 1.75. We sold 1/4. I think we sold some more at 2, some at 1.75, and then we were swinging a few more, which we sold at around 3 point something, right? So obviously they went all the way up to 5, but we rolled up. We tried to pick up some more. So, but anyway, it's the same mindset. It's all about okay, Amazon is opening at 169. Where would 170 calls open at? I know what my risk reward is. I know how much money that I can put in. I'm prepared. I'm ready. I'm understanding how much money I can lose in this particular trade. How much? What is my next level? I know what I have to look for, and I'm extremely prepared to say I'm going to jump on this momentum and make some good money, right? So that is essentially how I kind of I'm tuned to understand what my risk reward is and understand what's happening in the market and try to snipe it out. So those are my a small list of 3 examples from the last week, how I kind of use Thinkorswim's watch list to add these particular stocks into the watch list, and try to have a sense of where things open. And this is also about the options profit calculator. You can use this for selling your options if you are swinging as well. You can also use this to get a grasp of where the option might open, to understand how much risk that you can put into the market. I will tell you this, why is that very important is, once I started becoming a profitable trader, the more I realized about my habit is, I tend to know how much I'm willing to lose. I tend to know what my risk is in a particular trade, and things like that. So that has significantly helped my trading as well. So this methodology as to understanding where things open at, understanding where how an option moves per se, getting a small little watch list to be ready at the open to play certain things for the momentum. I mean, the first 30 minutes undoubtedly is the best time to trade in the market. And if you're trading if you're trading part-time with a full-time job, I would say 30 minutes at the open, 30 minutes at the close. Don't even trade anything else in between. You don't have to. There are so many opportunities that you'll get in the market that you really don't have to trade 100 times per week. 4 or 5 trades a week is pretty good. I mean, 4 or 5 trades is a lot too, but then obviously I am running a service, so I have to have that adequate number of trades for others to follow me and things like that as well. But if you're trading part time, I would say 4 to 5 trades, pretty good to get those returns out and things like that. So keep an eye out for that. And you would want to understand uh, how you are how your mindset is tuned at the open. Understand, make a small little watch list, try to play that open and make some good money. But I hope this is helpful. I will go in much more detail about how I create this watch list and things like that, like what resources I use and things like that in another video.